When this man came across a lost foal calling for its mother, there was only one thing he could do. What happened next will melt your heart. It was an ordinary day for the small herd of horses, as one of the mares watched her foal move with the group while they grazed on the grass and shrubs they came across. The foal was her firstborn, and she was incredibly protective of him. She did everything she could to make sure her foal was happy and healthy, and that he didn't face any danger, whether from other animals or from people. However, on this particular day, something went terribly wrong. The herd was grazing as usual, but it was late in the afternoon and night was approaching quickly. During these evening hours, the worst possible thing happened. The foal wandered a little away from his mother, trying to nibble on a particularly tasty shrub. When a wild wolf suddenly appeared, at first it was just one wolf, but soon more and more began to show up. They came out from behind the bushes, moving over the small hills, heading straight toward the foal. Their glowing yellow eyes showed that they were hungry and looking for an easy meal. Wild wolves usually don't attack wild horses, because the horses are too big and dangerous for the wild dogs, so they avoid risking a fight. But the foal was younger and smaller than his mother, so he was an easy target for the wild wolves. Because he had strayed away from the older mare, he found himself surrounded by the pack of wild dogs that stood between him and his mother. He felt afraid, and he had no other options, so he called out, trying to get his mother's attention. As soon as he did that, the wolves started rushing toward him with the intention of attacking. The foal turned and began running away from the wolves in the opposite direction of where his mother was grazing. It didn't take long for the mare to hear the noise while the wolves were chasing her foal. Without hesitation, the mare rushed toward the pack of wild dogs, ready to protect her foal at any cost. The big mare kicked, neighed, and jumped in an attempt to scare the wolves. But by the time she had driven away most of the hungry dogs, it was already too late. Her foal had already run away in fear. The mother tried to call out to the foal, but it seemed that the little horse was either too far away to hear her or too scared to come back, afraid that the wolves might still be there. Immediately, the mare began to panic as she roamed the field, desperately searching for her foal, but she couldn't find him anywhere. As night began to fall, the mare became afraid that she might never see her foal again. The next day, the mare went out again, traveling farther than the rest of her herd, which stayed close to her, following and searching for the foal as well. All day long, the mare kept searching for the foal, trying to follow his tracks and scent as much as she could. Meanwhile, the foal managed to survive through the night after facing off against the rest of the wolves that chased him, while most of them were scared off by his mother. But since the foal was young, he didn't have the chance to get to know the land he was wandering in, or the paths the herd usually followed, which meant he didn't know which direction to take to return to his herd. As night fell once again, the foal had no choice but to hide behind some bushes and hope that nothing dangerous would come and attack him during the night. Fortunately, the night passed without incident for the horse and her foal. With the arrival of a new day, the foal set out once again, trying to find his way back to his herd. However, instead of a group of horses, the foal found something much stranger and unfamiliar. It turned out that the foal had stumbled across a road, more specifically, a highway that cut through the land and fields the herd loved to travel through. Somehow, the foal managed to find himself on the opposite side of the guardrail on the asphalt road. Fortunately for the foal, the road, although it was a highway, was still relatively quiet, with very few cars passing by. This greatly reduced his chances of getting into a traffic accident while stuck on the road and unable to cross the guardrail again. With no other options, the foal began walking along the road, sticking close to the guardrail as morning turned into afternoon. There was a single car driving on the highway. The man inside was on his way home and decided to take the scenic route through the fields since it was a sunny day. As the man was driving, he suddenly saw a strange shape on the road ahead, and then he noticed that the shape was moving. The man quickly realized it was an animal, and as he got a little closer to the creature, he could see that it was a foal, since he was an animal lover. The man knew that if he passed by the foal and left it on the road, it could end up getting hurt or worse if another car passed by at high speed. With this thought in mind, the man stopped as close as he could to the foal without scaring it, got out of his car, and then started walking toward the little horse. But as he approached the animal, it started to show signs of nervousness and moved away from him. The man realized that it would take some time to bring the foal, which was more complicated. While the man was gently calling to the foal, something incredible happened. From over a small hill, a group of horses came running toward the man, but the mare at the front of the herd was the most energetic and enthusiastic. The big mare quickly approached the barrier, but when she saw the man standing nearby, she stopped and watched him cautiously. However, the foal suddenly became very excited as he immediately recognized his mother and started calling out to her enthusiastically, wanting to get as close to her as possible. As the man approached the foal, the person who was traveling with him began filming the encounter. The rider was able to capture the moment when his friend quickly grabbed the foal and hugged him with his arms, one arm holding him from the front around his chest and the other supporting his weight and holding his hind legs. The man held the horse like a professional, even though he had never done it before in his life. It's amazing the foal barely resisted. It was as if he understood that the person was trying to help him and didn't want to hurt him in the process. Even the foal's mother stepped a little away from the railing, as if reassuring the man that she wouldn't try to hurt him if he came closer with the heavy foal in his arms. The man began to lift him over the metal barrier. At first, the man struggled to get the young horse over the railing as the animal's hooves got caught on the metal, but with another big lift and a push forward, the man managed to get the foal over the barrier and let him return to his mother. The moment of reunion between the mother and her foal was filled with relief and love. The mother and her young one were incredibly grateful to be together again. And as the man watched, he couldn't help but feel his heart fill with happiness and a deep sense of accomplishment. He had witnessed a powerful testament to the unbreakable bond between a mother and her child, and he knew that his actions had played a small but important role, a moment he would cherish forever. With the foal safely back with the herd, the group of horses quickly began to run across the field. The man kept watching them until he could no longer see them. Then he returned to his car and drove home. Once he got back, the man's friend decided to upload the touching moment when the man helped the foal to YouTube, where the video quickly went viral and touched the hearts of people everywhere. Since then, the man has returned to the highway and the surrounding fields to see if he could find the mare and her foal again. Fortunately, it seems that the herd prefers to stay in that particular area, so the man was able to find them relatively easily. Since then, he decided to keep watching the horses, especially the foal, because he wanted to make sure that nothing bad would happen to any of them again. Under the man's watchful eye, the mare and her foal thrived, and while the man is careful not to get too close to the herd, since they are still wild, and sometimes he would toss some small treats, like apples, to the foal and her mother. As the years passed, the man's visits to the horses became less frequent. However, he was happy when he saw that the foal had grown and turned into a beautiful mare like her mother. On the last day he went to visit the herd. The man sat and watched them graze for a few hours. Then, as he was about to leave, the foal, who had now become a mature mare, looked at him and made a gentle sound, as if she knew he would not return, and was thanking him for helping her all those years and for watching over her since then. The man smiled and shed a simple tear, unable to believe what had happened. Just now, he never would have imagined that the horse would come to love him and care for him in the same way he did for her. Hesitantly, the man wished the mare and her herd well and walked toward his car. The horses were still wild, and although he had formed a small bond with one of them, they were still incredibly wild. They are dangerous creatures best left alone to roam the wilderness. And although the man hasn't been there since, he knows that the herd is doing well, and that the foal he saved now has her own foal to care for and love. It's truly an amazing story, showing how caring for and paying attention to the other animals of the world can also improve your own life, leaving you feeling happy and proud that you were able to make their lives better too. Let me know if you've had similar experiences in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing videos. If you can't wait for new videos to come out, simply head over to my YouTube channel where you can find plenty of amazing videos to binge watch.